What's up, Boulder, Colorado?
That way we have some lofty goals and some lofty plans for this wonderful university and this team. So we're just getting started. We really are. And I love every minute of it.
All right, last one, Ariel.
Happy New Year's. Today we've got a great news story for you. So we're going to make like a New Year's resolution and fail miserably a few days later. Our main story today is about Coach Prime's secret plan for trying to make Colorado unbeatable. Now, for those who may have missed it, it was recently announced that Colorado defensive coordinator Charles Kelly would be departing Colorado for a position at Auburn. And we think that this departure is part of a bigger plan to greatly improve Colorado's defense. Plus, we're going to talk about Coach Prime's number one New Year's resolution and maybe a couple other great stories. So grab you some leftover fireworks, sit back and get ready because this is the prime time for college football. Now, our first story today, we're going to talk about Coach Prime's secret plan to improve Colorado football. We've talked about Coach Kelly in the past, and I have covered Coach Kelly, and I'm really familiar with him from years and years of seeing him really down here in the Southeast. He was at Alabama some. He was at Florida State for a long time when they were up. And I think Coach Kelly is a good coach. I think he's a good recruiter. And this is not in any way a shot at him, but we raised some concerns earlier in the year in a video that doesn't necessarily need to be rehashed, but we raised some concerns about the ceiling of Colorado's defense under Coach Kelly. Now, I believe that he was a good hire. I believe that he brought in a lot of experience. He brought in a lot of structure that Colorado desperately needed. He did a good job recruiting. But I had concerns about whether or not Coach Kelly could lead this defense to become elite, to become really the upper echelon of college football, which is where we want to get to and where Coach Prime wants this roster and this defense to get to. We raised some concerns. We didn't by any means say that Deion needed to fire him or that Coach Prime needed to move on or anything like that. We just raised the idea that there could be some cracks in that foundation. Coach Prime obviously saw some of those things too. I didn't want to rush to conclusions. I didn't want to say, hey, this is something that has to be done. This is someone's job and life and livelihood. I'll let Coach Prime make those decisions, and I'm not going to call for somebody's job on this channel or on this show. But it is now the offseason, and you've seen Coach Prime start to move on. Moved on in a very amicable way. Didn't fire Coach Kelly, didn't bring down the battle axe or anything like that. Let him get a new job, helped him get a new position, and then start to look at new options. I appreciate Coach Kelly for his work. I appreciate Coach Kelly for his effort. I believe that he was a good coach for the Buffs in year one. I have no doubts about saying that. But now we look to the future and who may improve and be the next defensive coordinator at Colorado. Well, I think there are a couple of options, and I very much want to talk about those with you. Number one, I think you look internally. I think you look right on the staff that you've got right now, and you look at Mike Zimmer. Now, Mike Zimmer recently went on NFL Plus, a show on that network called The Insiders. He said this: the biggest thing I love is to teach. I love to coach. When I was a head coach, I was trying to teach the players and get them better by teaching them about the game of football and not just their position. He said, I think it's something that is just in your blood. Doesn't that sound like Coach Prime just a little bit? Something that's in your blood. Remember what he said earlier in the year? I'll get back to the quote. He said, I want guys who love this sport like I do. My dad was a high school coach for a long, long time, and I love being around the players, and I love the challenge of trying to make an organization better and get them where we need to go. Now, I don't know about you, but it may be New Year's, but I am ready to get up and run through that concrete wall over there, hearing him talk like that. I don't care if he coaches for the Buffs or Alabama or Hawaii. It doesn't matter to me, anywhere in between. That is what I want to hear out of a coach. A coach who takes pride and bleeds and loves it and really just wants to make kids better. Because that's what we want at the end of the day, right? We want to win games. We want to go 12-0 next year. I get all that. Every fan right now on December 1st, on January 1st, wants their team to end up 12-0 next year. I get that. But there's only one way to do that, and that is through players and coaching. And Mike Zimmer has the right mindset. A little bit about him. He has experience as a defensive coordinator in both college and the NFL. He was the head coach of the Vikings for 8 seasons. He was an analyst for Jackson State and Coach Prime when he was there. Numerous outlets reported last January that Zimmer was hired by Colorado. Didn't know exactly how, but at that time, Coach Prime said on the pregame show's YouTube channel, he said, Coach Zimmer's coming. Don't worry about the title. They know the kids, and they've been making tremendous decisions with the kids and the young men in mind. So he knew that he was going to be part of this and kind of has had him waiting in the wings. And to me, the continuity idea of having Zimmer come in as your defensive coordinator makes the most sense. It's something that I would be jacked about. It's who I would hire, but I'm not Deion Sanders. I'm not the coach. I'm not the one that has to make this decision. I love the idea of Zimmer. I think that it makes a lot of sense. I think that he is a coach who can get the most out of these kids and who can do a phenomenal job with them. Now, you don't want to lock in on just one possible coach. You want to explore multiple options. So if I'm Coach Prime, if I'm Deion Sanders, I'm looking at other coaches as well. Another name that has been mentioned is Ken Norton Jr. Now, Norton Jr. played with Coach Prime during the 1994 season in San Francisco. He also was with the Oakland Raiders and the Seattle Seahawks as a D coordinator. He would bring that NFL atmosphere that several have alluded to. He also was the UCLA linebacker coach just last year. He had a 13-year NFL career and almost has 2 decades of coaching experience. I love the aspect of getting guys who have that NFL experience. Both Zimmer and Norton have this. I think that's a big deal. I think that's a big deal to sell to recruits. Hey, do you want to go to the next level? Do you want to play in the NFL? Do you want to be the best that you can possibly be? I know what it takes to get you there. This is a trend in college football. It's not unique to this situation. It's not unique to Coach Prime. It's not something that he invented by any means, but you're seeing it more and more. You're seeing coaches that have that NFL experience. You're seeing especially coordinators that have that NFL experience. And it's a massive benefit on the recruiting trail because you can sell to the kids, I'm going to get you there because I have been there. I know it, and I've been there, and I'll get you there as well. Norton, again, UCLA linebacker coach just last year, familiar with the college game, familiar with the college calendar, which is a wreck right now. We haven't really talked about that a ton, but it's an absolute mess at this moment. Norton familiar with that. He's also familiar with college kids right now. He's familiar with the aspect of coaching in today's college football because he's been doing it. It'd be a promotion. It'd be an upgrade for him, but a guy who has NFL defensive coordinator experience certainly would be able to coach this Buffs defense up. I like some of his tendencies. I like the way that he coaches defense. I think it fits a lot of what Coach Prime wants. I think it blends well. I think it meshes well. I think he'd be a very good option. My preference is absolutely Zimmer for continuity reasons, for other reasons as well. But I think there's a lot of benefit to Norton too. I think that he absolutely could be the kind of guy to come in here and get this defense really, really good next season. They're going to have some really nice pieces. We've talked about the pickups in the portal. We know some of the pieces that are coming back, especially in the secondary. We understand what this defense could be next year, and it needs the right guy at the helm. Those are my top 2 candidates. Those are who I believe Coach Prime should be picking from. Now, here's the thing about Coach Prime. A lot of times he'll shock you. A lot of times he'll bring somebody that you weren't expecting. So don't be surprised if it's not one of these guys. I'm just trying to give you realistic options for how this defense could get to a really, really nice level next year. What are you guys' thoughts? Let me know down in the comments. Do you have somebody you prefer over the other? Do you have one that you want more than the other? Let's talk about that down below. Do you have somebody that I didn't mention? I'm good with that too. I'm not trying to sit here and say that I'm right about everything. I want to hear what you guys think on the defensive coordinator role. Again, appreciate Coach Kelly for his work. Best of luck at Auburn for sure. And we'll see how this defensive coordinator role fills out. All right. Lastly and quickly today, it is New Year's. So what I also want to hear from you is I want to hear I don't care what your New Year's resolutions are for this year because we all know how that goes. I want to hear the New Year's resolution that you quit the fastest and that you stuck to for the longest. So maybe you say in 2016, I said I was going to do this and I quit in 2 days. Maybe say in 2018, I said I was going to do this and I did it for 365 days. They can be funny. They can be serious. It doesn't matter. I want to hear the resolution that you quit the fastest and the one that you stuck to the longest. And we want to see what everybody's comments are on that. What is Coach Prime's New Year's resolution? Man, I think it's to keep Shedeur healthy. I think that is the key that makes the engine go. And we know that, and we've talked about that. And I'm not going to belabor that point. I'm not going to go into 5 minutes on why he needs to do that. There's no reason for me to do that. But if he had one resolution, if he had one thing that he wanted to do, and it's not that he's come out and said it. It's not that he's come out and told you this is what I'm going to do. Actions speak way louder than words. Actions will forever speak louder than words. And this is what Coach Prime's actions have been. What's he done? He went out and signed the best offensive lineman in the country. He went out and picked up massive additions in the transfer portal. He is bolstering that position group, and we'll see if it pays off. I think it will. My gut is that it's going to be much better for Shedeur, and that Coach Prime's New Year's resolution here on January 1st, I don't know why I said December 1st earlier, here on January 1st will be to keep his son healthy. And by doing that, he's going to win more games. See, a lot of people will say, hey, I want to win more games. And that's great. That sounds great. But winning more games, there's a lot that goes into that. And so what is Coach Prime trying to do to win games? He's trying to tell you the actual, tangible, valid things that he needs to do for the Buffs to win more games. And keeping Shedeur healthy is a big, big part of it. Hey, happy New Year's. Hopefully you guys are enjoying some football today. Hopefully enjoying some good food. My mother-in-law always does ham, collard greens, black-eyed pea. We do all the cornbread. We do all the traditional stuff. Keep the sugar out of the cornbread. Sweet tea. This is the South. Hopefully you guys are enjoying New Year's Day. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the channel over the first year. We're into year 2 now. We haven't made it a full year. We haven't hit an anniversary yet, but we are into year 2. We started in 2023. We're in 2024 now. We've enjoyed being here with you guys. We thank you for the support a ton. Not slowing down anytime soon. Happy New Year's, and thank you for watching the prime time for college football.